Hello everyone, my name is Lexi Johnston, and I am going to present to you a little bit about my webpage on Sheeran. So obviously he's one of the biggest stars that we have right now in music, singer songwriters, and kind of just want to see how he got to where he is. So the main way that I'll be navigating the webpage is up here. It takes me to a different point. So we'll begin with a childhood in music. Ed Sheeran actually started singing in church choir when he was 4 years old, and it was a huge part of his life. And after he had a surgery that went wrong, which actually left him with a lazy eye and a severe stutter, music would kind of be sanctuary. He was bullied a lot and kind of had fear of public speaking because of his stutter. Therapy really tempting him, and it was music that helped him overcome that. So we heard him in Eminem, and Ed Sheeran loved it. He loved every word, and it really helped to overcome his stutter. He wrote his own music and lyrics when he was only 11 years old. So he knew that calling. He started performing in different venues around town, and at 14, he actually decided he was going to head to London. So he packed some clothes, grabbed his guitar, and went. He played some venues and produced his own music, but he also didn't have a place to live, so he kind of just couch surfed, and when he didn't have to sleep on, he would sleep on a park bench or in the subway, and there were even nights that he didn't have enough money for food. So he went through some hard times very young in his life, but he didn't give up because he was eventually he did have his big break. So he really used the media to kind of leverage his potential, particularly using videos of him performing, and the rapper Example noticed him and invited him on tour, which really expanded his presence even further. Soon enough, he started to get noticed by newspapers and big names. Being ginger, he's pretty recognizable, so that definitely helped him stick in people's minds. And he decided that he was going to move to Los Angeles, even though he had no recording contract and no place to stay, because he was going to take a bet on his dream. So he sent music out to a lot of radio stations there, and wasn't really successful until one reached out to him to have him come perform, and the host of that was actually Jamie Foxx. And Jamie Foxx was so impressed with the performance that he was recording studio and even let him sleep on his couch for a few weeks. And from there, Ed Sheeran started to see success, able to get a record deal with Atlantic Records and release his debut album, Plus, which would become the second best-selling debut album in the entire UK. It's a pretty big deal, and it really spurred on by the 18 was the hit single of it, and it was actually inspired by a true story. The song after hearing a story from one of the residents at a homeless shelter that he visited, and that song also earned him his first Grammy nomination. So you can see I have the YouTube video here for it. We're not going to play it because it's going to take a second, so we're just going to keep moving along to, we already did a great major milestones, there we go. So here I have an image map of some of the big milestones in his career, like, singing for the Queen of England, because that was a big deal. And playing The Hobbit, his first Grammy, and of course collaborating with Beyonce. So we'll just click on a couple of these to show you kind of where these go. So each one will take you to a couple pictures and a description. So for example, Ed Sheeran toured with Taylor Swift as the opening act for her tour, and he actually helped produce that album and collaborated with her with the song Everything Has Changed. And of course, she was a star at the time and still is. And so she would boost his profile and kind of thrust him into the limelight even more. And they're actually still friends today. So obviously that was a good connect for him to make. And we'll also go to this one, his first Grammy. So this is a still video to the song that would win him his first Grammys. So Thinking Out Loud won both Song of the Year and Best Pop Vocal Performance at the 2016 Grammy Awards. And it was a huge hit, clearly. Here I actually have an audio clip of it, which hopefully you will be able to hear. This is the beginning of the music video. So hopefully you read that and that wasn't just 30 seconds of silence. That would be unfortunate. Fun fact about that song, I was singing it at my mom's dad's anniversary party back in high school. Yes, so I was really loving it then. So now I'll move on to the slideshow of his studio albums in order of release. So I'll start the slideshow. Then we have Multiply, which is the second, third album Ride, and then his most recent number 6 collections album. So that's where I get to see all his biggest albums. Of course, he did have Big Shadow before he became big, but those are the ones most people know. And I also have a little trivia. All of these are albums that if you were to read the entire webpage, including those links in the image map, you the answers to them. And then if you get them wrong and want to know where to find the answers, I have the answer key. And each of these is actually a link to where you can find that answer for that question. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully you learn a little Ed Sheeran. I learned more about him doing the project, and he is one of my favorite artists. So yeah, pretty cool. Here I have my sources, and great. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed.